What's going on, guys? Cordy here. In today's video, we're going to be doing a top 3 picks for each lane, with console being right around the corner. If you're watching this video, console should be out now. So I was wanting to give a quick little update on the tier list and do the top 3 picks per role to help you guys get into the Paragon. So first, we're going to start with solo lane. So for solo lane, we kind of want that frontliner, right? We want that tanky frontline who's going to provide great CCs. So the 3 heroes that I recommend for the solo lane, in no particular order, it's going to be Aurora. Aurora has great mobility. She has great CCs in her kit. She's really hard to kill. And then just the CC that she provides. She has a lot of crowd control abilities and really easy applied abilities as well. Makes her really great when she comes to team fighting. The next solo laner that we're going to go into is going to be Rampage. Rampage recently got buffed. I know, even though like his kit is more of like in the jungle now with his passive, you get more health while you're in the jungle. Even though you can play it as a tank, and whenever you're team fighting, you're going to be team fighting a lot of the times in the jungle. Rampage is just really good at being a frontliner. He absorbs a lot of damage. He can CC. He can engage with his leap. He provides so much, and he's really hard to kill that he makes him a really excellent frontliner for the solo lane. Last but not least, if you haven't been playing Paragon, if you're brand new, you haven't noticed, Adele is the best character in the game. Definitely the best solo laner in the game. Probably the best character in the game in general. She does so much. Her health shred onto other tanks is massive. The constant chain whips that she can lock onto people to keep in targets. The damage that she does with her overhead smack is not bad. The shield that she gets herself is massive. You can deny a lot of damage. Adele is definitely one of the better solo laners, and she is going to make the final of our top 3. So Aurora, Rampage, and Adele. You guys, when you're playing solo lane, these are the ones I recommend playing. Now, going into the jungle, we're going to be picking kind of the same status goes here when you're the jungle. The meta right now, it's more of like having a BP front line. You want a tank in the solo lane, you want a tankier jungler. So we're going to go with continue that theme here. The first person I'm going to recommend is going to be Sevarog. Sevarog is a tank. You can play him in the solo lane, but what makes him better in the jungle, and the last hits that you do get, it's a lot more easier to obtain in the jungle, and you get a lot more of them rather in lane. In lane, you have to deal with your minions killing each other. Then you have to worry about the enemy poking you out and things like that. With Sevarog in the jungle, you can just clear. You get more minion stacks per kill, so it's a lot easier to kill in the jungle. That's why Sevarog is mainly played in the jungle. He can get his stacks a lot quicker, and he becomes a menace late game. The next hero we're going to go into is going to be Crunch. Crunch is really great. He has multiple CCs. When he starts getting online, his CC chain is kind of crazy. He can dash in, stun lock somebody for a solid 2 seconds, allowing your team to wall up and do other CCs on him. He's just a really good ganker, really tanky as well with his base stats, and you want to build him a little bit more hybrid, be a little bit more tankier. But he does great damage, low cooldowns, great CCs. He has 2 dashes, essentially with his ultimate. He has really great escape or engage. So Crunch is a really great character to learn in the jungle. And the final jungler that we're going to go to is going to be Rampage. He recently got buffed. He can play him in the solo lane. You could play him in the jungle. His passive is better in the jungle, but either way, he should be played. He's such a great character at the moment. But Rampage is going to be our 3rd character for the jungle and for our solo lane. Now we're going to go to the mid lane. So for the mid lane, the idea is just to do damage at a long range or have some kind of CC's abilities to try to help with, if you have someone ganking in the mid lane, you have some kind of CC to help you with doing more damage and keeping them locked in. So the top 3 heroes that I recommend in the mid lane is going to be Gideon. Gideon has long range abilities. He has an escape, especially if you're a new character. Gideon's amazing because he has he has a dash, and then you have a teleport. So you have 2 escapes. He's a really great safe character, but he also does decent damage with his pull and his meteor. His ult is a little bit lackluster. You definitely have to be careful with your ulting, but he is such a great character while laning that you have that escape. It makes it really easy for new characters to learn. Belica is going to be our next hero. Belica's damage is really great. They nerfed her, but her damage is still really, really good. The knockup that she provides is amazing when you have other CCs like Crunch coming into the jungle, Rampage coming through the jungle. If they hit a rock or if they hit a stun, you can follow up with a knockup just to provide that extra CC and just keep them locked in place. The bomb does a lot of damage. The ult, whenever you're laning against another mid laner, if they're low on mana, your ult does more damage, so she really counters mages really well. So Belica is a really great mid laner. And then the final one is going to be Grim. Grim is just nuts. He has uncontested poke. His range is super long. He has long cooldowns. His damage does really well. He doesn't provide a lot of CC, but what he lacks in CC, he provides in damage and then range abilities. He can just fire half the map essentially. It's kind of nuts, but yeah, Graham is pretty nasty. Those are gonna be the top 3 for the mid laners. All right, now the next one we're gonna go to is gonna be the carries. So for the carries, the idea is just, you know, doing a lot of damage and trying to appeal for yourself. That is the main idea for being a carry. You want to be safe, but you also want to do a lot of damage as you can. So for the rangers that I'm choosing here, it's going to be Sparrow. Sparrow has a steroid in her kit. She has an AoE ult that does more damage, and she has that steroid gives her mobility as well. She gets movement speed, so she can backpedal a lot easier than the other rangers can. So it makes her really easy. Definitely one of the better ones. They have nerfed her, but she's still really good. She's one of the top tier carries right now in the game. Next up is going to be Drongo. The amazing thing about Drongo, his kit is really good. His boomerang isn't really that great. The things that makes Drongo really amazing as a carry is silence. Whenever a jungler or a dive person is jumping onto you, you drop the silence at your feet, and they can't use any abilities while you're fighting in that circle. Also, if they're in that circle for long enough, they'll get stunned, so it allows you to be a little bit more distant as well. His uranium rounds allows them to do more damage to their health that they have. So late game, he becomes, his abilities hit super hard. His auto attacks hit really hard with his passive, with his steroid. And then also with his ultimate, he can do a little bit of knockback. So a little bit disengaged from him, but mainly is going to be that silence and those uranium rounds that make Drongo really nasty late game. And the very last ranger that I recommend is going to be Murdoch. Murdoch, he's really easy. He's just a really easy character. The one thing I would say that new players always do is they use that long range ability, the E skill, I believe, the one that has the noob tube. Don't use that ability. It's not good. You're stationary, you kneel down, you use it. It gives you, it looks like it does good damage because of the damage that it does, but it's not great. Do not use it. Sometimes I don't even level it up. I'll put 1 point into it and never touch it again. His Q ability is a lock-on ability, super easy. The right click, if someone jumps on you, wait till them to jump on you and then use your right click to knock them back. That way you can keep that distance. And his ultimate is just a long range global ultimate. So if someone's pretty low that's running away in another lane, you can kneel down and snipe them, so you can either get that assist or get a kill to help you get your own farm while you're in laning. Murloc is a really great new player friendly character. Aside from that noob tube, do not use that ability. It's not good. And then last up, we're going to go to our supports. So the supports, the idea here is to have low cooldowns. That way you can get your abilities off, have some form of CC, some form of healing, or anything to help heal for your team, and have some escape. So that's really the idea here for the supports. So my top 3 supports are going to be Muriel. Muriel's shields are still uncountered. There's nothing in the game that counters shields right at the moment. So her shields can go. The only thing that counters shields is doing more damage. Muriel, late game, her shields are low cooldowns. They do nuts. She has a global ultimate. If you're fighting like a 1v1, 2v2, Muriel can ult over, give him a shield, and turn the fight. Really good character. Next up is going to be Mako. Mako is one of the better supports in the game right now. He has long range poke in lane. He has his healing can be his poke, so he can heal you in lane as well. He has a really good disengage. He can jump away, which is really nice. And then the main thing is his ultimate. They buffed his ultimate. You wind it up. If you can hit multiple people with it, that'd be amazing. You hit them for 2 seconds stun. They're stunned for a very long time, and in the move of 2 seconds is very long. They'll be slowed while they're in the circle. And if your teammates are in there, they also get healing as well. While you're actually throwing damage out, healing them as well. So Mako has a really great kit, and that is the reason why he is one of the best supports. The recent tournament that we had, it was either picked or banned in every single game. And the last final support that I'm going to recommend is going to be Decker. Decker is just really safe. Her escape is really nice. She has a good leap. She has a long range stun, and then her ultimate can trap somebody in or like be really good for disengage. So she's just a really safe character, especially if you're learning support roles. Decker is a really great one to learn. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for the video. This is my top 3 per role. They're definitely one of the better ones for those roles, and they're also easier to learn as well. with the console releasing, I will be streaming a lot, just trying to give out some codes as well. So if you haven't gotten a code yet for console, it's for the PlayStation 5. I will be streaming and do some code giveaways. Make sure to stop by twitch.tv/Cordy. Yeah, that'll be it for the video. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.